police were at the right place at the right time. They say they caught a man walking right along here, 3rd and Fremont Street. Portions of the hospital shut down, but the ER is still open for anyone needing services. Of course, UMC, one of only 2 trauma hospitals here in the Valley. Masa, I want to show you how these men got into this power box. Police telling me they actually crawled through that hole right there. Okay, well, obviously the team here at Las Vegas Gunfights does not do things like a regular gun range.
My best advice, just stay off the 15. This is going to take several hours, you guys.
So that's one of the few details officials here at Nellis are confirming with us, that at least one pilot was on board. The extent of that pilot's injuries still unknown. The hashtag boycott MGM is still trending on social media. But for those survivors who were behind this fence when those shots were ringing off and fearing for their life, well, they are angry this morning. This may seem like an old scam, but with the power of social media, the newest pyramid scheme is spreading like wildfire right into your teen's wallet. Good news for a lot of these passengers, but take a look down here. This man says he was waiting for his appointment at his dentist's office when he saw a man slumped over in a car over the front wheel here. Tonight, North Las Vegas police will continue to have a memorial set up right outside of their headquarters for Detective Parquet. Every car here could take some of that $1 billion lawsuit that claims parts under the hood and even power windows like this were being price fixed. Haven't been able to meet any of the people just yet that you helped. It's been, I'm sure you're exhausted these past several days.
Yes.
Do you want to meet those people?
I would like to.
Today is just to let these kids have fun. Look at this little guy. How cute is this? Another app you can use is SafeTrack. You push this button and you have 10 seconds before police are alerted to come find you.
13 Action News anchor Leslie Marine is live from Metro headquarters with new questions about how he was able to get away and his motive. Leslie.
Trisha, Carla, tonight we are learning that Anthony Robel may have planned his attack for days. We also are told he did not go down without a fight and even left a note behind for detectives.
It was a great relief to knowing that this violent individual is off the streets.
Tonight, Anthony Robel, seen here in this mugshot, is behind bars almost 800 miles away from Las Vegas.
And this is just an instance where just good old routine police work paid off.
The sheriff of Oldham County, Texas, saying a routine patrol stop around 3 a.m. led to officers finding Robel asleep in his car at a rest stop. Police say he had a handgun and 2 high-capacity magazines at his side.
Whenever he started reaching, he actually picked up a handgun.
Deputies able to talk Robel down, but tonight we're learning he may have been planning this shooting for some time. Police laying out a timeline of the days following the shooting that left Venetian executives Mia Banks dead and Hector Rodriguez in the hospital. Investigators say once Robel left Sunset Park, he went to Terminal 3 at McCarran International Airport, where he then got into a getaway car.
That he pre-staged in the parking garage 3 days prior to the shooting.
From there, police say Robel's next stop was Cedar City, Utah, where he allegedly stole a license plate attaching it to his car. He then drove almost 800 miles to Vega, Texas, where eventually police caught up with him. The motive still unclear tonight, but police hinting it may have been written in a letter left behind for detectives. Well, coming up at 6 p.m., we will have more details on what that letter said to detectives and how the Venetian is responding tonight. Reporting live, Leslie Marine, 13 Action News.
Leslie, thank you.
From an active shooter
Remove your mask.
to tear gas.
I can feel like burning around my neck and stuff.
This team of 8 paramedics from AMR Medic West
Hoorah! Moving out.
are training to become the newest tactical team in the Valley. But being a part of this team, far from a walk in the park, Leslie Schaefer has spent 13 years as a paramedic. No call could have prepared her for this.
Mentally, we're kind of preparing for it, but once you're in there, it's something completely different.
The paramedics put through SWAT exercises. First, a tear gas chamber.
Gets to the point where it starts choking, can't breathe.
Jalapeno peppers rubbed all over my body.
My 2 medics that are off, I need a diamond of 4.
But before they could fully recover, the team's responding to an active shooter scenario. Right now, they're trying to give aid to the people who were shot in this active shooter training situation. Now, this situation is all too real for some of these paramedics.
We were all there on October 1st.
The idea for this team was born out of tragedy.
We had a lot of lessons learned after 1 October.
The biggest lesson, the only way to save more lives is to get paramedics on the front lines.
The traditional model was for us to sit back, wait, make sure it's completely safe. We're wasting precious minutes at that point.
Putting their lives on the line to save yours.
We want to give back to our community in a bigger way, something that we can do more, Lord forbid, October 1 never happens again.
Leslie Marin, 13 Action News.
Action News anchor Leslie Marine sat down with the Deputy Chief of Community Policing to find out what is going on.
This is video of the 8 officer-involved shootings since August 4th. Break that down, that's 2 every week. But police say the numbers only tell half the story.
I'm telling you, drop the knife now!
Scenes like this playing out more across the country as the number of officer-involved shootings spikes here at home.
It concerns us. It's an anomaly.
Deputy Chief Chris Jones heads up the Community Policing Division for Metro. The number of shootings in the last year, 18, concerns even him.
You know, I've never seen a cluster of shootings, officer-involved shootings, in my 25 years in policing.
But when we ask why we're seeing such an increase, Jones says, don't look at the statistics.
What concerns us more is the level of violence that the suspects are willing to go to.
Since the beginning of the year, Jones says Metro shootings have legally been justified.
Is he out here shooting? Where's he at? Where's he at?
But it doesn't mean the public has always agreed.
Be critical, because we are, of ourselves. We can't just focus on justified or not justified.
The department was overhauled after 25 shootings in 2010, led to the review by the DOJ. Since then, they have changed trainings, included more de-escalation methods.
We look at every single one of these with a very, very critical eye. To see, is there something else we can do?
Since the recent spike in shootings, Jones says Metro is looking to relax policies to allow officers to use less lethal force, including bringing back the use of a high-capacity pepper spray.
We're part of this community. Our officers are part of this community. Really, no one wins in these.
The department is also working on transparency, releasing body camera footage of a shooting no more than 72 hours after. A manhole, that's what these guys came out of, but their journey lasted much longer, underground. Just how many ways can you get to the Rio? For 2 tourists visiting from Canada, the storm drains were their route.
I don't know who would actually do that. Were they getting anything out of it?
Apparently a shortcut, the 2 men told us. While they didn't want to go on camera, they did tell us about their escapade, which ended in a meeting with police. But it started back at the New York, when the 2 men say they walked to the Rio for the Penn and Teller show. The guy said they came up to a fence like this one. They saw it broken open, so they walked through. That's when the men say they walked into what looked like a storm drain. For 400 yards they walked. That's 4 football fields through the drains. The guys say they finally found their way when they came up to a ladder that led them to a manhole like this one. They popped the top open and then made their way to the Rio.
That's surprising, especially after what just happened.
The men were finally caught waiting in line for the Penn and Teller show. But how did they get so far? And what does this mean for safety?
If they can get through from one place to the other, you know, and the manholes, that means anybody can get into anywhere that they shouldn't be getting into.
We reached out to the county, which oversees many manholes. They say they don't keep all of them locked, but most are hard to open without special equipment. When it comes to storm drains, the county says no trespassing signs and fences are put up.
I don't think it was right for them to do that.